In a world of glitz, glamour, and great tunes, one man brings you the magic. Andy Snowden, Stage and Screen, only on Wrexham Premier Radio.
Kiss me softly. No, it's not about you.
It's Not About You. That was the single from Belle back in February of this year. And on Friday last, she released her brand new single. It's called My Heart's Been Stolen, but it isn't a crime. And we're about to give it a spin here on the Stage and Screen show. But before I do, earlier this week, I caught a word with Belle. And we had a chat about all things about her career and this fantastic brand new single. Here she is on the Stage and Screen show, Wrexham Premier Radio. It's Belle. The last time we spoke, I don't know if you can remember that far back. It was over a year ago now. It was when you released Fluorescent Light. And,
gosh!
But I have been sent your music, the last few releases that you've done, and I've noticed that every new release it seems to be different to the previous one. Is that an intentional thing?
I think it's kind of like just naturally changed, to be fair. Like from the beginning, like when I listen to like my songs from like when I was 15, they're like completely different to now. But I think it's probably just a natural progression, maybe. Yeah.
And also as well, it seems to be one every 6 months at the moment. Is that part of the master plan?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely working on like having an album and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm always writing and stuff. So, and also because my dad's my producer, so I always just go to the studio and I'm like, what do you think of this one? And sometimes he'll be like, nah, that's rubbish. But sometimes we'll record it and then, yeah.
Is it that brutal? Is it?
Yeah, definitely. My mum and dad are both like such realists. Like they'll tell me like, nah, that is rubbish, Belle. Just maybe should put that one to rest. But
right. But you often hear with artists and songwriters that they put things to the sideline, and then years later they suddenly think, should we give that one a try? And then it suddenly becomes a big hit. So you never know.
You never know.
But when you write, is there a process that you work by? Is it lyrics, then music, or do you find a melody and try and put the lyrics around it, or does that differ?
I think when I first started writing songs, because I was like 13, I always like loved writing poetry from when I was little, and then I kind of put my poetry and singing together when I was about 13. So I'd always kind of write a concept and a poem first, and then kind of do like a simple 4-chord sequence like on the piano, and then come up with like the melody and stuff. But I think now, obviously, because I've like, it's been a few years, I've like experimented a bit, and now it's kind of just depending on how I'm feeling or how I'm inspired. But yeah, so I think most of my songs are kind of come from personal experiences, but there's also sometimes maybe I've watched like a TV show or something and been inspired by that. But yeah. But
is it literally like that? Because I often think, because if a lot of your songs, they seem very biographical. They've things that you've experienced yourself. But can you be just sitting like on the tube or something like that, and then you think, wow, I'm going to write about that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like I've always been quite like a creative person since I was little, and I also like love to over romanticize things. So I've got a little bit of a wild imagination, I guess you could say. So yeah, sometimes I'll just like be sitting on like I think I wrote one of my songs, That's Not Heart's Fault. I wrote that one on the train. And yeah, just kind of comes to you. Sometimes you'll like be like brain dead for a while, and then you just get like a light bulb. But yeah.
But you're also a self-taught pianist, right? So you write all your music on the piano? Because I read that you're learning the guitar. How's that going?
Yeah. Because I wouldn't say I'm like the best pianist or guitarist. I kind of just like I think I have enough skill to write songs, but I wouldn't say I'm like I could never go and be like, yeah, I'm a pianist. But yeah, I'm starting to learn the guitar, and I'm going to get more piano lessons as well, so I can kind of expand my my knowledge on all that stuff. But yeah, it's going all right.
not easy to play piano.
No. No, I mean, I find piano a lot easier than guitar. Actually, I found, but yeah, it's difficult, but I love it, so I've got to do it.
Well, absolutely. If you love it, it's not a chore, is it? Brilliant.
No.
But you'll probably laugh at me, because I've always assumed that with songwriters you basically write a poem and try and fit it around music, which is, of course, I mean, you can probably tell I have no idea what I'm talking about, but is that basically what happens? Are you writing music around your poems?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, obviously I said like now it kind of depends on how I'm feeling and like what I've been inspired by. But yeah, I tend to like kind of have a poem. I think when I first started, I'd always make sure like they rhymed and things because that was like the easiest way to write poems. But I was also like a massive fan of like English literature and because I did that for like my my chosen school subjects as well. So I guess that kind of helped me as well. But now it's yeah, I do love writing poetry, so I guess I do kind of create it around that.
Wow.
I think when I wrote, because my first kind of like ballady kind of song, I guess, like mid-tempo is That's Not What Hearts Are For last year. And when I wrote it, it was kind of like quite like a slow tempo ballad, and then it ended up being quite like mid-tempo, and there was like more instruments than I thought there would be, but it all worked out. And I think maybe sometimes because my producer is my dad, I guess we get in little more like more quarrels than usual, but I'm grateful to have him because we can actually like be honest with each other as well.
Yeah, well, he's legendary, your dad, isn't he? He's worked with a lot of the greats, including Gary Barlow and Kylie and Boyzone, and of course your mum is Lolly from the 90s. So yeah. I suppose many people would presume that you would fall into this business. It's not always the case, of course, but it seems to have rubbed off on you.
Yeah. I mean, they never actually wanted me to be in the music industry. Like, they always tried to push me away from it. And, like, my mum wanted me to be a doctor. And I was like, I don't think that would be me. But, music's always been my passion. And there's, like, nothing that would, like, hinder me or, like, make me not want to do it. So they kind of stuck with me doing this.
Yeah, fantastic. And I noticed that you've been, you live in the Midlands, don't you? And you've been touring in the schools, over 15,000 school children, not just performing, of course, but giving lectures on cyberbullying and online safety and mental health. And I know when we spoke last, I know that's something you're really passionate about, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah, definitely. I mean, I did my first school tour like after my first release, so I was 15. And I felt like I definitely was thrown in the deep end, but I was so grateful for that experience. I think that was like the best thing I could have done because obviously performing to like a live audience is a lot different to studio singing. And I think because I'm so passionate about the meaning behind my songs, and it's always kind of my goal is kind of be the voice of people that are still on their own journey to find theirs. And yeah, I think also because I was of a similar age to the school kids, it kind of made a more relatability factor. And yeah, it's cool because I still get messages from like kids I've seen like 3 years ago saying how they still listen to my music and how I like helped them get through a time in school, which is definitely the reason to keep me going.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you're quite prolific on social media. And I was watching a video of you a few months ago of you meeting Robbie Williams, and I've got to ask you about it because it just seemed like was it a chance meeting that you were able to stick your demos in his hand? Is that how it worked? What happened?
Yes, there's been a couple. There was Robbie Williams and then Youngblood, and it was like within 2 weeks of each other. And so for Robbie Williams, I got invited to like an art exhibition thing for him for his new like artwork, which is all about mental health. Actually, it was really cool. But we were like specifically told we're not allowed to speak to Robbie Williams, not allowed to get any pictures, not allowed to like go near him and stuff. And I was like, right, I'm on a mission because I've got my USB key with my music, and I was like, there's no way I can leave without giving him my music. Yeah. So we just went upstairs, and like he was just there, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go over, and if they stop me, then they stop me. But I just started waffling to him because about music and saying how I'm a young artist and just please listen to my music because we all start from somewhere. And he took it and he was like, yeah, you're a cool kid. And he said he'll definitely listen to it. And yeah, it was really lovely, and it's a really cool experience to have.
But they do say, like, if you don't take your chances, what literally, what's the point? But I think a lot of people would never have done what you did. It's quite a brave thing to do, but I mean, a fantastic thing to do.
I think it's just, if you want to be in the industry, you've got to be passionate about it and you've got to want it. And I definitely want it. So.
Yeah. But on the video, if anybody's ever seen it, and I urge anyone to have a quick look at it, it's he looks so intense when he's listening to you. He's so engaged, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. His eyes were like popping out his head. But yeah, it was great to talk with him.
Oh, lovely. But anyway, your new single, it's called My Heart's Been Stolen, but it isn't a crime. It was out last week. I played it for the first time on my show last week. And I've got to tell you, Belle, that it doesn't generally happen. People were popping their heads into the studio and they were saying, "Wow, what's this?" You know, because obviously it's a brand new track and it was the first play on it. But tell us about it. What's going on with this one?
Yeah. So I basically, in a simple form, it's kind of just about moving on from something or someone. And as I said earlier, I feel like I'm quite an imaginative person and I like to over-romanticize things. And I think sometimes I'll get myself in a pickle because I'll get to know someone and kind of create like an image of what I think they are. And then they might end up not being like that and end up hurting you. And I think this is just about moving on from that situation and realizing that, you know, tomorrow will be a brighter day and there'll be new people, new places to experience. And I'm excited to see how people interpret it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose that's what happens with music, and that's the beauty of it, that people will take different things from your original intention. I suppose it must be quite interesting for you, that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one of my favorite things because like I'll write something and someone will get something completely different from it. But I think that's the art of music because if people can relate to it, that's kind of the main goal, really.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, we're about to give it a spin. Would you do the honours of queuing it up for us?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Belle, and this is my brand new single. My Heart's Been Stolen, but it isn't a crime. Absolutely
wonderful. Lovely to speak to you again, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Not at all. You take care of yourself.
You too.
Cheers. Ta-ra.
Bye.
My Heart's Been Stolen, but it isn't a crime. The brand new one then from Belle, out now to download. You can keep up to date with all the goings on with Belle on her social pages. That is indeed TikTok and, of course, Instagram. And if you would like to check out her back catalogue, it's all there on Spotify for you right now. My Heart's Been Stolen, but it isn't a crime. Available to download now at all the usual places.
In a world of glitz, glamour, and great tunes, one man brings you the magic. Andy Snowden, Stage and Screen, only on Wrexham Premier Radio.